all flooded out. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ordinary Maverick. This is Ajay, your host, an ordinary maverick, sharing real life thoughts and experiences and maverick tips. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so, and you will not miss another episode.
In today's podcast, I'm going to share one of those life experiences that one hopes never repeats, but yet it leaves an indelible imprint on your mind. Yes, it was a time when we were caught in one of the worst floods in the cities where I grew up and the city that I love, that is Mumbai. And I must say, it took grit and courage to live through those 24 hours. It was 2005. To be precise, it was 26th July 2005, known in the history as the day Mumbai stood still. The city that never sleeps brought to a complete standstill, and I was in the middle of it. Or rather, myself, my wife, and my two little daughters were in the middle of it. Nearly 5,000 people lost their lives that day. Large number of people were stranded on the road, lost their homes, and many walked for long distances back home from work that evening. The floods were caused by the 8th heaviest ever recorded 24-hour rainfall figure of 994 millimeters ever. Mumbai is a coastal city, and on that fateful day, with high tides in the sea and the heavy rainfall, and given the infrastructure, the densely populated city didn't have a chance. I still remember that day. A day that started off like any other. We all left home that morning as usual, my wife and I for work, and our two little girls, 6 and 7 years old, for school. Remember seeing them off on their school bus, waving them goodbye and saying that see you in the evening. It was raining, but being the monsoon season, this was a normal, and as any Mumbaiker, that's what people living in Mumbai are called, just went about their business as usual. A little rain never hurt anyone. Am I right? Well, this time around, it wasn't just little rain. I distinctly recall the phone call from my wife early in the afternoon saying that Mumbai was flooding up and that we need to see how to get home as our girls may be sent home early from school. Now, those who have lived in Mumbai will know that this is common. Many times school shut early with students sent home. We were a bit worried that given both of us were at work and if our girls went home, there would be no one at home. As it was raining, we contemplated going home early as well. My wife was at her workplace, which is approximately 30 minutes away from where I was if I was to walk there. I told her I will come and pick her up and then we will go home together. Little did I realize when I left my office what the situation was out there. Streets were flooding up. There were no available public transport options. It was raining heavily and I had to wade through flooding streets to get to her. Yes, you heard it right. Waded through knee-deep, ankle-deep water that seemed to be rising really quick. What transpired over the next 18 hours is carved indelibly in our minds forever. We went through all emotions, fear, anxiety, hope, panic, awe, resilience, courage, not only in ourselves but also experienced these emotions all around us. We walked over 15 kilometers in knee-deep and sometimes waist-deep waters, saw cars submerged, took major risks while walking almost blinded on roads, not knowing where manholes were, just sticking to the road divider so as to not be suddenly sucked into a manhole on the road. We had one aim to reach our daughter's school, as we had no idea whether they had left the school in the bus or were still there. We just wanted to reach them. The journey to their school, which was just about 5 kilometers from where we were, took us almost about 6 hours. Along the way, we experienced small acts of kindness, food stalls giving out food for free, people giving water to travelers from their homes along the way, and one thing shone through: the spirit of togetherness, the power of hope, the strong, resilient spirit of being human. It was awe-inspiring and, if experienced, never to be forgotten. We did eventually reach our daughter's school and gosh, what a scene. The entire school, with close to 5,000 children, were all stranded in the school. The entire ground floor was waist deep in water and all children were in various classrooms on the floors above. Mumbai was plunged into darkness that night as all electricity cables were down and no network coverage was there. The residents of the surrounding buildings around the school cooked food for the children and teachers, and contributed to make sure every child had a glass of milk that night. It was the most amazing demonstration of spirit of Mumbai. All raw materials were given free of cost by grocery stores that night for feeding stranded people. We tried to reach our home that night with the girls, set out wading in the rain, little realizing how flooded the city was. We got a lift with a newspaper reporter in his car when he saw both of us walking, holding our girls up on our backs, and sitting in one place in the car, stuck in the floods, then getting out and trying to see if he can still reach our home, and then recall reaching an area where the sea waters and the roads were all one, and all we could see was this big black body of water. It was actually scary. We went back to the school, slept on the floor in the classrooms in our wet clothes, and set out the next morning towards our home, wading through the waters once again and walking for over 4 hours to finally reach home. What an experience! But all along, one thing was clear. We were together and focused. Reaching home safely was our goal, and we did it. This brings to my mind one of the other experiences I've had when working with the Special Olympics group. Truly, disability is in our minds. One can truly do whatever one wants if determined. My experience with the Special Olympics is for another podcast. The day Mumbai stood still for me was truly a demonstration of power of the human spirit, and one which I and several of us, my family, friends, and people of Mumbai experienced. Unlocking the power of human spirit can be the most life-changing experience. Through the day, I witnessed firsthand how we lifted each other up physically, emotionally. Kindness was reciprocal. You gave it and you received it. No questions asked, and with no expectations of any return. We were together, connected in the true spirit of kindness and oneness, with a common goal to get through the challenge together.
That's the Maverick spirit. Keep going, keep focused, and one will get to the final destination. Write in your comments, share your feedback. I would love to hear from you. And for some more Maverick tips, do subscribe to the Ordinary Maverick podcast. This is Ajay signing off, wishing you have an amazing day. Keep well, stay safe. Credits. This podcast series was put together as a team effort from the Bhardwaj family. Concept, design, title, researchers and reviewers Ajay, Sanjana, Avantika and Niharika Bhardwaj. Script Sanjana. Cover design Niharika. All rights reserved.